Hi girls, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're staying safe at home. So I am back to continue with the animal tissue. So today we are going to start with connective tissue. Now what do you mean by connective tissue? When we talk about connective tissue, we are talking about tissues which binds one tissue to another, and it also connects various organs to keep these organs in their proper places. Like for example, if you look at the circulatory system, starting from the mouth, the esophagus, the small intestine, the large intestine, the liver, the pancreas are all in their proper places. Why? Because they are connected together by means of connective tissues. Now it has three characteristics. First is they have an abundance of intercellular substance, the matrix. Okay, that means it is the ground substance. Next is it has very few cellular elements. Okay, like it does not have cell organelles, and it has lots and lots of fibers because it has to bind one tissue to another tissue. Okay, or it has to bind the organs together. Now, classification, there are three types of connective tissue. First is known as connective tissue proper. Okay, what does connective tissue proper do? It serves for packing and binding organs. Now, supposing if you put some books inside a carton, now if the carton is not tied properly, or if you do not put any sellotape in it, what will happen if you lift it up? All the books will drop down, isn't it? So in the same way, connective tissue proper, what does it do? It packs and binds the organs together. Okay, now next is supportive connective tissue. Now when we talk about supportive connective tissue, we are talking about tissues which give support. So what are the tissues that support your body? Bones and cartilage, isn't it? So next is fluid connective tissue. Now you know the word fluid means liquid which flows. So you know liquid connective tissue is blood and the lymph. Okay, we'll be discussing each one in detail. The first one is connective tissue proper. Okay, now the first one in connective tissue proper is areolar tissue, which is a packing tissue, most widely spread. Maximum in your body you will find the areolar tissue, and it is found just below the epidermis of the skin, because you know the largest organ in your body is your skin. Next we come to adipose or fat tissues. Okay, so it has special cells or specialized cells which store fat. So if you are fat, that means you have a lot of adipose tissue. Now this tissue forms a padding under the skin. Okay, now this padding under the skin, it helps to retain the body heat. That is, heat is not easily lost from the body. That is why fat people do not feel cold. Okay, and it is also found around the kidneys, in the eyeballs, around the liver, around the heart. Now next, coming to fibrous connective tissue, it is made up of elongated fibers. Okay, which are long and bundled together. These elongated fibers, you can see here, these are the elongated fibers, are bundled together. They are in bundles. Okay, and they are bundled together by areolar tissue. Remember areolar tissue we just discussed, okay, which is the packing tissue. So these fibers are bundled together by means of areolar tissue. Now the matrix is there, that is the ground substance. Then this is the cell. Okay, then the cell will have a nucleus. Now they form, there are two types of fibrous connective tissue. First one is tendons. Okay, and remember tendons connect muscle to bone. For movement, the muscle must be connected to the bone. Okay, next is ligaments, which connects two bones together. You know we have many bones in our body, total of 206 bones in our body. So these bones are all connected. You can see your joints, the bones are, especially look at your hands, look at your fingers, how many bones are there. So all those bones are connected to each other by means of ligaments. Okay, so moving on to supportive connective tissue, that is the tissue which supports our body. I already told you, cartilage and bone. Now when we look at the structure of a cartilage, you will see that it is always non-porous. It does not have tiny holes in it. Okay, it has a thickened intercellular substance which is known as the matrix. Here you can see this is the matrix. Okay, cells. Okay, and it also has cells, and this is the empty lacuna. That means a cell which does not have nucleus in it. Now the cartilage has no blood vessels or nerves. That is why you can easily pierce your nose or the ears. Why? Because there are no nerves and you will not feel any pain. And it is semi-transparent and elastic. That is why your ears can be pulled, your nose can be pulled. It is slightly elastic and it is semi-transparent. If you stand against light, you will see the blood that is inside the ears. Now, location, it is found at the tip of nose, external ears. Trachea and bronchial tubes are the part of lungs. Okay, and between the vertebrae, that is the backbone, between the vertebrae and at the end of long bones. Okay, when we are talking about long bones, maybe the bones of the arms, maybe the bones of your legs. Now next we come to bone. Bone is hard, but it is a porous tissue, because you know inside bones red blood cells and white blood cells are produced. So these pores are there so that the blood cells, once it is produced there, can easily seep out and move on to the blood cells. Okay, it has a good supply of blood vessels and nerves, not like the cartilage. Remember, cartilage, I told you, did not have any blood vessels and nerves, but bone has a good supply of blood vessels and nerves. It consists of osteoblasts, which are living cells, okay, and a rigid mass of inorganic salts. Remember, what do you have to do to have healthy bones, strong bones? You drink a lot of milk. Why? Because they say calcium and phosphorus is required for healthy bones. So this is the diagram of the bone. It has a Haversian canal in the middle, a tiny hole there. Then these are the concentric lamellae. Okay, concentric lamellae. Then the matrix, okay, the ground substance. And then these insect-like things that you see are the bone cells. If you look at the bone cells, one enlarged bone cell, it looks like this. Okay, now next we come to fluid connective tissue. When we talk about fluid connective tissue, okay, we are talking about blood and lymph. Okay, now blood is composed of the liquid part, which is known as plasma. Okay, and cellular part, cells, that is found in the liquid part, floating in the liquid part of blood. We have red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. Okay, so you can see the structure of red blood cells. This is the structure of red blood cells. These are white blood cells and these are blood platelets. Okay, so next we come to lymph. You know, lymph is also fluid connective tissue. Fluid connective tissue surrounds the body cells. Which fluid connective tissue are we talking about? We are talking about the lymph. Now, what is actually lymph? Lymph is nothing but it is the liquid part of blood. Remember, liquid part of blood is known as plasma. So the blood plasma, it just oozes out of the blood vessels and it surrounds the body cells. It contains only white blood cells. Why? Because white blood cells, it destroys germs and any harmful particles that enter our body. So that is why lymph has to surround the body cells. Now, what is the function of fluid connective tissue? Both blood as well as lymph, which are the fluid connective tissue, are concerned with transportation. You know, blood carries food, oxygen, waste products to different parts of the body. Okay, and white blood cells, they fight against any germs which enter our body, so it is also concerned with immunity. Immunity means protection against disease. Okay, so with this we come to the end of connective tissue. In the next upload, we are going to talk about muscle tissue and nervous tissue. Okay, have a great day.